The alt attributes is used in HTML and XHTML documents to specify alternative text that is to be rendered when the element to which it is applied cannot be rendered. It is also used by screen reader software so that a person who is listening to the content of a web page can interact with this element. The attribute was introduced in HTML2 and in HTML 4.01 was required for the img and area tags. It is optional for the input tag and the deprecated applet tag. Example. Here is an image for which the alt attributes is: in the sky flies a red flag with a white cross whose vertical bar is shifted towards the flag pole. The HTML for this image might be something like the following. A visually impaired reader using a screen reader such as Orca will hear the alt text in place of the image. A text browser such as Lynx will display the alt text instead of the image. A graphical browser typically will display only the image, and will display the alt text only if the user asks it to show the image's properties or has configured the browser not to display images, or if the browser was unable to retrieve or to decode the image. An alternative alt attribute value would be the Danish flag. Common misconceptions: the alt attribute does not always have to literally describe the contents of the image. Keep in mind what would be useful to someone who cannot see the image. The alt attributes is supposed to be an alternative for the image, usually stating its purpose. For example, an image of a warning sign should not have alt text or a triangle with a yellow background, black border and an exclamation mark euro, but simply a OE warning. A euro unless, of course, the alt text's purpose is to show what the warning symbol actually looks like. Internet Explorer 7 and earlier render text in alt attribute as tooltip text, which is not standards compliant. This behavior led many web developers to misuse alt when they wish to display tooltips containing additional information about images, instead of using the title attribute that was intended for that use. As of Internet Explorer 8, alt attributes no longer render as tooltips. The alt attribute is commonly, but incorrectly, referred to as the alt tag. Decorative images: the W3C recommends that images that convey no information, but are purely decorative, be specified in CSS rather than in the HTML markup. However, it may sometimes be necessary to include a decorative image as an HTML img tag. In this case, if the image truly does not add to the content, then a blank alt attribute should be included in the form of alt equals. This makes the page navigable for users of screen readers or non-graphical browsers. If no alt attribute has been supplied, then browsers that cannot display the image will still display something there, for example the URL of the image, or a fixed text string. See also, long desc attribute, notes. References, including an image, the img element from the HTML 4.01 specification, the img element from the HTML5 specification, techniques for WCAG 2.0, providing text equivalents for images from Dive into Accessibility, appropriate use of alternative text from WebAIM, guidelines on alt texts in img elements by Jukka Korpela, alternative text for images, the alt attribute by Estelle, mini FAQ about the alternate text of images by Ian Hickson, external links, handy bookmarklets for alt attribute management, 1, 2.